In this video, you will learn how to identify outliers using SPSS, of course. So, what are outliers? You might wonder. An outlier is an observation that lies an abnormal distance from other values in a random sample from a population. That is, the data size or value has a large space distance or difference between other variables in the data. So that's an outlier. So there are two graphical techniques for identifying outliers, and they are the scattered plots and the box plot. But in this tutorial, we'll focus on the box plot. So the box plot is a useful graphical display for describing the behavior of the data in the middle as well as at the ends of the distribution. Outliers should be investigated carefully, yes, because often they contain valuable information about the process under investigation or the data gathering and recording, because sometimes they might have huge differences between other data and still have valuable information. So that's why you should be very careful about outliers when it comes to outliers. So before considering possible elimination of these points from the data, you should try to understand why they appeared and whether it is likely that similar values will continue to appear. And yes, of course, outliers are often bad data points. Yes, most times. Yes. All right. So now I will be showing you how to identify outliers. So right here we have our data set. We have gender, height, and weight. So we will try to identify outliers from these two data sets, height and weight, which are the dependent variables. All right, so we have gender here, which is the independent variable. We have height, the dependent variable, weight, and the dependent variable. So we want to check for outliers between height and weight, in height and in weight. So how do we do this? Like I said earlier, we'll be focusing on box plot, and to get our box plots, which we know that a box plot is a graph. So we'll click on graphs, chart builder, click OK. All right, so now as you can see, we have different graphs here, even the scatter plot, but we're focusing on the box plot. All right, so we click on box plot. All right, so we have like 3 different versions of box plot here, but we'll be using the first one. So we click, hold, and drag and drop here. All right, so now you can see our box plot here. We have the y-axis and the x-axis. So as you know that the x-axis is for the independent variable, while the y-axis is for the dependent variable. So now our independent variable here is gender. So we'll click, hold, and drag and drop the x-axis. So now I want to start with height in inches. So we click, hold, drag, and drop in the y-axis. All right, so click OK and wait for our results. Alright, so this is our result. But as you can see, there are no outliers here. You might be confused, but we'll still try to identify if there's outliers in height, in weight. Alright, so there's no outliers here because as you can see, the graph is clean. Just have our variable here, male and female. We'll have all the data clean and neat. Alright, so let's try to check if there are outliers in weight. Alright, so we'll do the same procedure that we did in the first place. Graph, chart builder, okay, so it's still there. We can reset this and redo it again. So it's already on box plot. You hold, drag, drop, then we'll bring the gender, which is the independent variable, drop the x-axis. Okay, right now we want to use weight, so click, hold, drag, drop, then click OK. Alright, so this is our result. I hope you can see some difference from the first one that we run. Okay, so right here you can see a circle with 3 adjacent it, above and adjacent it, and we can see a star with 9 and another star with 12. Okay, what this means is that we have outliers. Yes, that's what it means. So this circle here means this is an outlier. The circle here means that this data for female, the height distributed among female, the weight, sorry, distributed among female is an outlier, has an outlier, and this outlier can be found on row 3 or case 3. It can be found on row 3 or case 3. Let me show you. Okay, so this is row 3. I can see that it's 350. Wow, the difference is much from the normal data that we have. All right, so now let's go back to our results. All right, so this circle here means that this is an outlier and this in case 3, like I've showed you. So what does this asterisk mean? This asterisk means that this outlier is extreme. The outlier is extreme. That's what the star means, that the outlier is extreme. Why this circle means that that's an outlier. But the star is not just an outlier, it's an extreme outlier. And this also is an extreme outlier. I will have it at row 12. Okay, let's see it. We have 9 and 12, which are outliers. So let's see if we can see them. All right, as you can see that row 9 for male, we have 400. That's huge. When you look at other variables here that we have, you can see that is much. And row 12, 500. So these are our outliers. Assuming we have a variable or a data set of rows of over 200, over 300, where you can't visually identify these outliers, this is how you can identify the outlier using the box plot. Using the box plot. Alright, so that is how to identify outliers. I hope this video gives you what you want. So you should subscribe, like, and share. If you didn't get exactly what you're looking for, you can let us know in the comment box and we'll do that for you. Thank you.